Good morning and welcome to the Elevate Renatus team call. This is your host, Keely Austin, and today we get to learn from Wanda Carrasquillo. As of right now, we've got 29 participants. Make sure that you reach out to your team. We don't want any ICMs left behind. And Wanda has brought a wonderful touch to our trainings with mindset and personal development, which I find is foundational to life, not just business. It's so important to learn to love yourself and to be grateful, and just all the incredible things that I've pulled from different personal development books. It's critical to implement personal development into our lives. So I'm very grateful that Wanda has been able to do that for us, and she's got a wonderful way of conveying her message. So she is training us today from Puerto Rico, and I wanted to just share some of her background with you guys. So she was actually born in Puerto Rico, and despite many challenges in life, she has earned herself 2 master's degrees in education. And in her career, she succeeded in many ways, only to an extent where she would hit a ceiling every time she attempted to reach higher. She spent most of her time trading hours for dollars, and on the side, Wanda was always looking for business opportunities. And she had never accomplished much in those business attempts, but she absolutely has an entrepreneurial spirit, and that certainly shows now that she's gotten her hands on Renatus. 3 years ago is when she found Renatus, and she has now exceeded her income goals in less time and effort. In Wanda's first 8 months alone, she earned 6 figures and has continued to do so each year after. She's completed around 20 real estate transactions, and she is on the PIT team, meaning she's a President's Advisory Council member in training with our CEO, Bob Snyder. And she has a large team of entrepreneurs, which allows them to succeed as she has because of her choice to become a real estate investor. Her future is now brighter, and great things are to come in the years ahead. Good morning, Wanda.
Good morning, Keely. How are you?
Doing wonderful, thanks. How are you doing?
Good. It's very sunny and hot here. I just finished my morning walk, and it got me to sweat. So
Oh,
it is
nice.
nice. Yeah.
Are you going to be sharing
And
your screen today? Just curious.
no, just leave it there. We're just gonna
Okay,
have a conversation. Thank you.
perfect. Okay.
Thanks. So as I was walking and meditating on the things that I wanted to share with you, it occurred to me that I want to share with you a story. You probably heard this story before, but it's related to something that I learned from Michael. And Michael, he's a top income earner, and he has worked on personal development a lot. He's, to me, like a walking encyclopedia, is like epitome of learning. And anyway, Michael taught me this lesson about abundance. And I apologize if any of you have heard this story, but I think it's going to be a great segue for me to develop this topic today. And one day we were at a restaurant, and he asked me if I have cash on me. And I said, yes. And then he said, okay, give it to Dane, because Dane is going to use his credit card to earn his points. And I looked at him and I said, what about my points? Because I do have a credit card also that earns points, right? And then he turned around and, he's very direct. And he said, Wanda, don't worry about it. Don't give him any cash. He will use the credit card anyway and earn his points. At that moment, I kind of shut my mouth, because I'm like, okay, I know how direct Michael could be, so I'm not gonna get another embarrassing moment or something. And then a few minutes later, the waitress come to the table and said, we do have these gift cards. If you donate money for this institution, you can earn these gift cards. And Michael said, oh, yeah, we can do that. Wanda, pay for it. And it was like $20. So I take $20 out of my purse and I paid it. And then I kind of looked at him, like, in my mind, it's like, why me? But okay, no problem. The guy took the money and came back with the gift cards. Who do I give the gift cards to? And Michael said, oh, you can keep them. And in my mind was like, what? He can keep them. I paid for it. I deserve them. I wanted them. I'm very, very giving person. And I start to justify, my thinking. And I can give it to my team members. I can give it to my daughter. I can, I just have all these excuses. But I didn't say a word. Okay, but all of this was in my mind. So the guy took the gift cards with him, and at one point I was thinking, hey, I'm gonna go to the podium, I'm gonna talk to him, and I'm gonna ask for the gift cards. But I didn't do that. I stayed at the table. Eventually, then we have another team member at the table, and he was paying for his meals. And Michael told him, are you giving tip like a millionaire? And this team member said, Michael, I'm not making any money, blah, blah, blah. I don't have anything. I'm just scribbling. He said, are you paying like a millionaire? Are you tipping like a millionaire? At that point, it was like too many events at that particular moment. So I'm like, Michael, may I ask you, what are you trying to teach us? And he looked at me, he grabbed his beard, like in his chin, and he said, abundance, Wanda, abundance. That lesson stick on my mind like for all these 3 years. And that's what I want to talk today, because I kept researching what really abundance means. And I have heard some speakers saying, oh, I don't believe in this abundance thing, in the sense of getting things because you just think that way. But I kept researching and listening to more podcasts and people who really live in abundance. And I started to take notes, and I think this is what I need to share today. And from one of the podcasts that I heard, I was getting to this, and those are the notes that I took. Abundance, you can live in abundance in 2 vibrancy frequencies. You either love or you either afraid. So if you are in a love vibration, you are in abundance mindset. If you're in an afraid vibration, you are in a lack of vibration. And that is very, very powerful. It's very powerful because when you are in love, you don't seek for love because you already love and you already have it. It's like having a little fish in a water trying to look for water. The fish in water doesn't need to seek for water because it's in water, correct? So if I am in love and I have love and everything that I do is in love and kindness, then I'm always in abundance. I'm always in love. So I don't have to seek for it. But if I'm afraid, then I'm going to act in a way of power, in a way of power that is going to be like my ego, correct? But when I'm in love, I'm dignifying other people. I have this other kind of power that position me on a way of being perceived differently, okay? No oppressing people, no comparing with people, not in that ego mindset. And all of these have to do with your mindset. Remember, it's just the way of thinking. So basically, we have to start challenging our mindset. And earlier here in the chat, we had this conversation, and somebody posted about how many cars Bob Snyder has. And it's interesting because I have seen at least 3 cars, including the main wagon, which is the big truck that he bought. It's a military truck, and then he put it with Renatos, and we all see that in Nationals. And then I have seen his Land Rover, and I have seen a truck as well. So he probably has more. I don't know how many, but I have seen also toys, like a Ford truck and bikes and so on. But he has I'm bringing this up, and I don't want to offend anybody or anything like that. I'm bringing this up because as I was answering in the chat, I'm like, are we comparing to him, or we are grateful because he has those things? That's a question, right? So when you are comparing, and when you are in the ego mindset, you are projecting yourself from a position of fear. And you don't want to be on a position of fear. Remember, fear rejects, but love attracts. Okay, and that's where you want to be. Oh my goodness, he has all of these things. How he got all of that is because he prepared himself to receive. And one of the things I have mentioned is that Bob Snyder always said he got to that position of becoming 9-figure income because he started changing his mindset. He even admitted that he failed other businesses, very successful businesses, but he didn't reach out to this position until he was able to manage the money wisely, like be a good steward of his money and change his mindset. And he always said, like, whatever you have between the 2 ears, right? So when we have those conversations, and I was just so good, and I was so happy to see the conversation going. Thank you, Kyle, because I'm like, this is going to be a great way to segue into this topic of abundance. Looking at somebody who has good things is okay, but how do you project that is what we need to be careful. If we are projecting it with envy, if we are projecting it with ego, oh, that person either. No, if that's the feeling, then you're putting this fear feeling within the context, and that is going to reject, and you're going to start projecting yourself from the lack of. And every time you work from the lack of, you stay in the lack of. Michael Hoggins also always teaching people about the words that you use. If you say, I need, then that means that you don't have it. And because you don't have it, you won't have it. Because your brain will keep you in that comfort zone of not having it. It's better not to have it than having it, right? Because having something means that you have to expand your comfort zone, and your brain doesn't want to do that. So using those words of I need, or it's better to use it, I desire to have success. So in that is because you have a different feeling when you use the word desire or to have, and you can test that for yourself. I have this, I don't have it. If I don't have it, what kind of feeling you have? You have a feeling of loss. You have a feeling of needy or something. So that feeling will continue because everything is associated with the feelings that you have. So it's very, very, it's being very, very aware of how you project yourself. Are you projecting yourself from a position of love, or are you projecting yourself from a position of fear? And if it's fear, it's ego. If it's fear, is something that gives you, you have to fight it, correct? When you are afraid, you fight. But when you're in love, you have peace and you have tranquility and you can dignify other people's success. And for me, that's very easy because I'm a validator. So I can, kind of be in that, oh, this is nice, and giving compliments to people. But sometimes when you're in this comparing, is very, very, very careful with the words that you use, very careful with the energy that you have, those feelings that you have, because everything is going to be kind of a change of mindset. And that's how you project yourself in that feeling of mindset. Let me see, I took some more notes of the things that I wanted to say, but that is pretty much what this message is about. And I see abundance everywhere. I see abundance everywhere. But sometimes the things that we have programmed in our minds, in our subconscious level, reject abundance from us. For instance, some people, oh, money is evil. Or people who have a lot of money are bad. If you subconscious level is saying those things, be careful. Start reprogramming your brain. Because not all people with a lot of money are bad. I have worked with many years ago. I had to babysit on this family. The family was really rich. They own several hotels. They own water parks and so on. And they have a mansion. This is in Florida. And I was raising my children by myself. I was a single mother of 3, one of who was special needs child. I mentioned that, and he passed away. It's going to be 7 years this June. And I worked for this family. And these people were the most caring people I have ever met. They were really caring. In one occasion, they knew the situation that I was in. I was working on everything, but things were really tough. And I walked to my car and I found an envelope and I had $300 there. I walked back into the house and I said, no, you don't have to give me this. I knew it was them, who else can give me $300 and leave it there? And this is another thing that is really important, because you need to allow to receive. And sometimes we put barriers into ourselves. When somebody want to give you something because you provide a service, and even though you probably didn't have a price on that service, but somebody wants to give you something, you must receive. You cannot say, oh no, and reject it. Oh no, don't worry about it. You don't have to pay me for this. No, because we are in a world of give and take. And it doesn't mean that you are expecting something in return. But if somebody allows you and desire and have the feeling of giving, you should allow the receiving. I even learning this, and it's part of the abundance topic. I'm learning this because sometimes you say, oh, thank you, or you say something like, thank you, you too. When you say that you too, boom, you just put a wall and rejected the thank you. And that's very, very powerful. So we need to be careful in how so lately I've been very conscious about that. And I said, oh, thank you. And leave it at that. Why? Because if I say you too, I'm giving back that to them and I'm not receiving. So allowing for you to receive and allowing for you to give is without expectation, that brings more abundance. The more people you help, the more you're gonna get. But as long as you do it without thinking that you are expecting something. And that's how you project abundance from a position of love, not from a position of fear. And I think our time is getting over. So it's 11:30. If you have any questions, just put it on the chat. I don't know if there's any comments on the chat. Let me see. Do you know when the training took place, Stephen? Does anyone have the link for the training prospect video? Oh, okay, those are things that Kelly can answer, or you can always check on the website or in YouTube channel and search. All right, so let me see. No, I assume that this is folder recording. YouTube. All right, so it doesn't look like. Happy Thursday, everybody. Personal development is key for success. Yes, yes, yes. Receive the blessings. I am generous giver and gracious receiver. And thank you for that, Anna. I love it. Yes, we have to always be on a gratitude mindset. And that's another lesson that I got from my goal. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Great reminder to challenge your mindset because that holds us back. Thank you, Amy, for that comment. It's great to see you here. We have 40 people, and even if it's only one, I just want to share with you my love with you. I'm happy to see you all in nationals, and we can all race to the top. Remember to purchase your ticket for national. If you haven't, do anything possible to get there, anything to be there. Why? Because the information that you're going to get in that nationals is going to be amazing. It's blowing your mind away. So get to nationals, do anything that you can do to make it and be there. Purchase your ticket as soon as possible before it goes, the early bird special ends. And I will talk to you next week. Kelly, back to you to end the call. And I love you all, and I hope that this information bring some value to you and that you can start positioning yourself from the vibe of love. Thank you.
We love you back, Wanda. Thank you so much for spending your morning with us. This was a powerful training. Everyone have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.